afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be in this beautiful planet of ours. This is Marc Lainhart, the Intuitive Prospector, here for another Metaphysical Mocha Mondays here in the beautiful Pacific Northwest of Seattle, Washington. The sun is out. It is officially spring. How's everybody doing this morning? Going to just give a second for people to get on board to share out the live feed. So make sure, if you are new to the page, make sure to like, turn on, subscribe to the Intuitive Prospector page. At 8:30, we'll stick around for the Prospecting Q&A after show, where I actually have a direct conversation with all of you that are currently watching, or if you want to invite more people. It's an opportunity to get a free reading. It's an opportunity to have a spiritual chat. It's an opportunity maybe for a little bit of mediumship, a little bit of psychic. You never know with me. That's why I call it the Prospecting Q&A after show. And it'll also be premiering over on my YouTube channel. So make sure to get over on my YouTube channel. I'll try to paste the link into the description field to make sure you can subscribe to that. But it's over 200 videos of what I call my Soul Adventures library. We've got spiritual hikes, spiritual dives, 4 seasons of Inspired Living Radio, 2 seasons of Metaphysical Mocha Mondays, and it's a fun library to subscribe to, because I always do kind of fun, crazy, zany things. So that'll premiere after we're done here on Facebook Live. That premieres over on my YouTube channel, so make sure to get subscribed to that. And you know what? Here comes the link right now. Let me post that link in. Let's see here. So looks like we got a couple people hanging out this morning, and I'm going to be talking about what a difference a year makes and to stay the course. Now, during my meditations this morning, I get up every morning and I meditate. I do a little bit of Qigong, which is the study of your own energy. Qi is life force energy. Gong is the study of. Some of you may know it as the mother of Tai Chi. It's a philosophy that's been around for thousands of years, but it's just a way to wake up not just your, we wake up the physical body, but it's a good way to wake up your metaphysical, your energetic body, your spiritual body, your emotional body, your mental body. And so let me see if I can find the video. So if you're asking questions, I won't be responding during the main topic show, but I do want to give a shout out to some of my top fans that are part of the page and interact with me every Monday morning, which I truly appreciate, all the spiritual prospectors that hang out with me. So Yolanda Cullen, who's a top fan, and good morning Heidi, good morning Ma, another top fan. So got a couple of you guys hanging out this morning, which I truly appreciate. And we're going to be talking about what a difference a year makes to stay the course. Now, I had somebody reach out to me. Actually, I had a couple people. It's funny with the work that I do. I pay attention to seasons and cycles, but I also pay attention to trends, if you will. And what I mean by trends is patterns, things that happen. And for me, they're in the pattern of 3. And I even saw this when I was in the fire service. I saw things that happened in 3s. And I've had 2 over the last couple days. I've had people approach me about giving up on their dreams, or I can't do this anymore. And Mark, what should I do? And this morning when I got done with my meditations, it brought me to something of what a difference a year makes. And I'll explain that. But before I explain that, one of the things that I love to do with the work that I do, whether it's metaphysical, whether it's spiritual, whether it's healing, is just to take a second. And if you're watching, I appreciate it. If you're hanging out with me, I appreciate it. But just take a moment to take a nice, deep, cleansing, healing breath and move your mind into what I call the magic of the moment, because that's where the true energy, that's where the true life happens, not in the future of our imagination, not in the memories of our past. So just take that nice, deep, cleansing, healing breath, put a nice big smile on your face. And for those of you that are watching either here on Facebook Live or over on YouTube, sometimes it's tough, but just putting a smile on your face and shifting your mindset to what you are grateful for, that can really shift your energy, you guys. And, I've with my path in spiritualism, my own bouts of depression, my own bouts of, tragic loss, murders and, cancer and multiple sclerosis and suicides. Not every day is rainbows and kitty cats and unicorns. And you have to find a way to shift that mindset. And for me, it's through the power of breath, it's through the power of meditation, it's through the power of Qigong, and it's through the power of having an attitude for gratitude and shifting my mindset to what I am thankful for currently in the moment. So another nice deep breath. Put a big smile on your face. Little chimes to bring in that relaxation, that moment of getting in the moment. And I want to give you a quote. And it's by a few people because this is an inspirational show, and it's inspirational messages for the week ahead, and then at the prospecting Q&A after show, we'll get into questions and answers and have a whole lot of prospecting fun because I never know what's going to come up. Last week it was really fun. Brought one of the folks who watch, and I will turn the video on in the prospecting Q&A after show, and you can also call me. But we brought her father through, and he had made a weather vane. He actually built his farm in a weather vane that he was very proud of, and that's what he brought to his daughter, and it was just a very nice healing message for her. And I love to do that. I love doing it on Monday mornings as well, guys, because it sets the tone for the week. It can really set that, you can plant that seed for the week ahead. So that's what Metaphysical Mocha Mondays is all about. And I love that the show doesn't get too big. If you guys want to share out, that's great. I appreciate it. I really do. And for those of you that share out or subscribe to my YouTube playlist, which is in the description links, also in the description of this video, at the end of April, at the end of this month, I pick one person, or Spirit picks one person, and I give a free 30-minute reading. So I've connected with the winner for March. So she knows who she is, so we'll be connecting and giving her a free 30-minute reading. And I try to do that just as a way of interacting and giving back. That's another reason I do this show. But I do the show to set the tone for the week ahead. So I want to give you some quotes, but we can't get going, guys, until we have our cup of coffee. This is Metaphysical Mocha Mondays, right? And what kind of show would this be without a little bit of coffee or a little bit of tea or something, to have in your hand as we go along? Now, you may notice I have my Star Wars cup, and some of you who know me are Star Wars fans. A new Star Wars trailer dropped, so I'm very excited. It's actually called The Rise of Skywalker. It's the end of the Star Wars saga as we know it. Something I grew up with since 1977. So the Star Wars franchise has been a part of my life since I was a little kid to where I'm at now. So I was really excited. If you haven't checked out the new Star Wars trailer, it dropped. It's pretty awesome. Check that out. But here's a couple quotes I want to help you with to get started for this morning. And what really made me think about this message is about what a difference a year makes. Think about where you were a year ago today. So we're in April, the spring. Just take a second to reflect back. Not to live back there in your past because it doesn't serve your higher good. But just take a second to move back a year, see where you're at. Now see what's different. Is it family? Is it friends? Is it your career? Is it your health? Is it just your life path in general? How has it changed over the last year? Now, Stephen King, for those of you that might be a Stephen King fan out there, I'm sure there's a few of you out there. I know I'm a big Stephen King fan. Let me fix my microphone here. My microphone's being a little, do its own thing this morning. So, Stephen King talked about, and I remember this quote because he wrote a book called In Writing, and so I'm trying to write my first book, and boy, am I struggling. So I'm trying to tell my story of how I even came to mediumship. I am being featured in my first book, which I'm very honored. There's a whole page that was dedicated to how I came to the college in England and how I even got into spiritualism and metaphysics and mediumship and this whole thing. But when I was reading the book from Stephen King called In Writing, it's about how to write a book and how to tell your story. He said, amateurs sit and wait for inspiration. The rest of us just get up and go to work. And, some of us, you might be waiting for your inspiration. You might be waiting, to write your book. Don't. Move into that magic of the moment. Start writing notes down. There's a ton of editing, publishing companies out there that can assist you. And that's what I'm really trying to manifest and set my intentions to really. I've got about 8 chapters written, but I need to do more. And if I think back to where I was a year ago, I'm a lot farther ahead. I'm now streaming through Alexa. So for all of you that have the Alexa or Echo Pods, just ask to open up Ariel's Positive Living, and you get positive tips. So that's what was different from a year ago, where I wasn't on Alexa. I wasn't doing the whole voice command interactions, but there's spiritual tips now that you can get from me. And that's a lot different from where I was. I spent a lot of time writing that and getting that together. And that's the difference for me from where I'm at. But this year, as I move into 2020, I really want to have my book written and also have some overnight experiences because I do a lot of hiking, get out into Forest Fridays, but also have some overnight experiences. So that's the next thing I'm setting that intention for because I've always found that energy follows your intentions. So another quote that I love is from Pat Riley. Excellence is the gradual result of always striving to do better. So if you can find a positive mantra, if you can find things that help you stay strong, that help you stay positive. One of the quotes that I love is my own. It says, "Be inspired, inspire others, inspire before we expire." And I use those as a way to keep me moving forward, because I'll get you. I'll be honest with you guys. Sometimes you just want to give up. Like, why am I following this dream? It's, I've got so much pushback. I got people that don't believe in me, and even with my own journey, that people that thought. I always say some people think I'm crazy. Other people call me for advice. But it's moving into your authentic path. And there's a Chinese proverb that says, "Be not afraid of growing slowly. Be afraid only of standing still." So you're going to be in a different place from this point, from a year from now. And so it's really what a difference a year can make, and to stay the course and to pursue your dreams and grab on and don't let go. And one of the things that really made me think about today's show, because like I said, I don't usually do my topics until the morning of. I kind of tune into the collective consciousness, if you will. I tune into what my clients have been telling me on those trends or those patterns that I see. And a lot of people are wanting to give up on their dreams, give up on their goals. Well, today's show, if you've made your way to Metaphysical Mocha Mondays, the Intuitive Prospector page, or it's premiering over on my YouTube channel, you found this message synchronistically, coincidentally, the synergy that's around that, to stay the course. It is hard. The roads of life are hard and they're long, but be patient, trust, dedicated, persistent, inspired. Hold on to your dream and don't give up, because really a year can make a huge difference. I always think of LL Cool J. He went through, if you guys know the rapper, the actor, the producer, the musician, he always said, stay focused and go after your dreams and keep moving towards your goals. And that was LL Cool J. I always say, stay the light, or stay the course, light a star, change the world. Let's see, how do I say this? Stay the course, light a star, change the world where you are. So that's kind of something that I try to remember in my own journey. But what really kind of inspired me to talk to you guys today about this message about what a difference a year can make and to stay the course with whatever you're going through is, for some of you that are watching, you may be a big sports fan. Some of you don't really care about sports. That's okay. But the story I want to share with you this morning is the story of the Virginia men's basketball team, the Virginia College University in Virginia. So it reminded me during March Madness, which was last month, the college tournament. This time last year, Virginia was ranked number 1 in the country. And they were number 1 seed in the tournament, and they always take on a 6. So the number 1 seed in basketball takes on a 16 seed. There's 1 through 16. And in the history of the NCAA tournament, a 16 seed has never, ever beat a number 1 seed. Now, a 15 seed has beaten a number 2 seed over the course of the tournament, in the history of that. But a 1 seed has never lost in the first round of the tournament. Well, you know where I'm going with this. Virginia lost. They lost to a team that had a really great record, but nobody had really thought they would ever win. And so Virginia was pretty crushed. Number 1 team, number 1 seed, lost to a 16 seed, and it completely changed the tournament. So where we're at, I can only just imagine, if you're a 16 seed, the excitement of going into the history books and beating a number 1 seed, but also on the flip side, how those guys who work hard, the coaches, the staff, the administrators worked all year to really try to get a national championship, and the disappointment and the letdown, maybe the letdown of their coach, the letdown of their fans, and they lost, and they went into the history books as a first-time number 1 seed, losing to a 16 seed. So, take a deep breath. What a difference a year can make. We fast forward to now, to this year, the new March Madness tournament that just wrapped up. And guess who won the national championship? Virginia. So now imagine how excited they are to go from the extreme disappointment of losing and making the history books to actually setting another history record in the amount of wins they got this season and their first national championship. So I just wanted to share that story with you, that we all have our ups and our downs in life. All of us, have that disappointment. All of us have that doubt. All of us have that sometimes wanting to give up. Don't. Stay the course. Believe it. See it. Achieve it. If you feel like giving up, that might even be an indicator of energetically to even strive harder to go after your goals and to really move into what you want for your life and setting your reality. You may see me struggle at times, and I share my struggles and I tell my story because I got into spiritualism because of the struggle, but you'll never see me quit, ever. Sometimes you have to take a break. I always say it's important to take the time to disconnect so that you have the time to reconnect, but stay the course. I mean, growth is painful, guys. There's no, the lessons that we learn, but it's growth nonetheless. The change is painful, but nothing is as painful as staying stuck somewhere you don't want to be or somewhere you don't belong. So, since I'm talking about basketball, if you will, and I know not everybody's a basketball fan, but I played in high school and a little bit in college and some in the Coast Guard, so I've always followed basketball. But John Wooden, who was a famous coach for UCLA, talked about make each day your masterpiece. And some of these quotes have stuck with me for years. It's literally like I think about that. And so just take a second to take in that deep breath that we started with, move into the magic of the moment, and how can today make your day a masterpiece? Make each day your masterpiece. And when you do that, when you have that mindset and you have an attitude for gratitude and you are staying dedicated and disciplined and desire and passion for what you want, it's going to help you hold on to your dream. Because if you don't take any actions, the dream stays in here, and that's what we get into the term of daydreaming. So it's just something I thought I would share with you this morning. Some inspirational quotes, ways to, staying dedicated and staying focused. Because it's not just about the ideas, it's about making ideas happen, so do it. And again, I always say things that are born twice, first in your mind, and then what do you do? Well, you have to take actions to bring whatever's in here out into the reality. And sometimes that's hard work. I always think of Mark Cuban from Shark Tank, who says you got to keep pounding the pavement. Don Marquez says, procrastination is the art of keeping up with yesterday. I don't want to keep up with yesterday because I can't go back, and that's what procrastination is. But you always have the choice to be happy. You always have the choice to learn to understand the purpose of your road bumps, if you will, that you come across, but grow from them and stay positive and stay the course. So that's just a quick down and dirty of what a difference a year can make. Again, I think of the Virginia men's basketball team. Congratulations to them, because they went from making history of being the first number 1 seed beaten by a 16 seed to a year later, and I'm sure they worked extremely hard, guys. I can only just imagine from my coach, or from my days playing as a player and the coach, just how dedicated they were after they lost last season in that first round, to how focused and dedicated they were this year. And it's a long season, but moving into that ability to get to the national championship and win their first national championship for the Virginia basketball program. So big congratulations to them, but they put in the work. It's the universal law. You get in what you get out what you put in. You reap what you sow, kind of energy. And the universe will move into an alignment with you if you move into alignment with yourself, and you move into an alignment energetically, your tensions with your focus of what you want for your dreams. So, just wanted to give you one more. The place between your comfort zone and your dream is where life takes place, and that's from Helen Keller. So think about that for a second. Helen Keller is somebody who also has inspired me. Deaf and had no vision, and she was able to communicate through the power of touch, the tapping, if you will, Morse code. Because if you can't hear anything and you can't see anything, take that for a second. Just if you want to have an attitude for gratitude, move into that place of taking your vision away. So close your eyes real quick and plug your ears and see what kind of life that is for you. But Helen Keller moved into being an inspirer and not giving up, because she could have given up. And trust me, guys, I know personally, I've had friends and family who've given up and taken their own lives. And so I always, as a reminder too, for those of you that are watching, because there's a lot going on in life. Life is very fast-paced. Technology is always changing, and everybody's always looking at their phones. And sometimes you need to take the time to disconnect, to get out in nature, which I remind people is our first home. It's our original home. It's our greatest teacher. It's our greatest healer. What I love about nature is it always seems to get what it needs to get done in its own time. So it stays the course, and it's very persistent. But again, that place that I was just talking about from Helen Keller, the place between your comfort zone and your dream is where life takes place, and that's from Helen Keller. But I also want to remind you, if for those of you that are watching, if you're feeling alone, if you feel like you need somebody to talk to, and this show is an inspiring show. It's inspirational messages for the week ahead. So I'm here to inspire you, but I'm also here to give you outlets. So there's the Suicide Prevention Lifeline, and I just do this as part of my program to help people because I've seen, personally firsthand suicide and people that just give up on their dreams or give up on themselves. And so I just want to remind you not to give up on your dream, not to give up on yourself. And if you need help, contact a professional. That number is 1-800-273-TALK or 8255. 1-800-273-TALK, or you can go to suicidepreventionlifeline.org. The Lifeline is free. It's confidential. It's always available. And if somebody needs help, if you pass this number along, if somebody needs help, whether it's a loved one, a friend, or yourself, I always try to at least plug that into my shows if I can. So just want to leave you with one more quote. It says, "Give up being perfect for being authentic," and that's from Hal Elrod. And that's always been an important quote to me and to my own authentic path. Is I used to try to really be perfect at what I did, whether it was in the Coast Guard, the fire service, my corporate job. I always tried to be my best, and there's nothing wrong with that. Be your best. It's part of the 4 agreements, right? Of doing what you say you're going to do. Do your best at what you do. Don't make assumptions and don't take things personally. I always try to, have my spiritual path be part of the 4 agreements. But I gave up being perfect, because when you try to satisfy the world, you please nobody. Find your dream. The people that will find you and come into alignment that support you and your path and your work, it's an alignment, and it's an energetic tribe thing, if you will. But I gave up being perfect for being authentic. And sometimes that doesn't resonate with other people when you move into your authentic self, your higher self. But it's really just about, not giving up on your dreams and staying the course, because there is a big difference, and what a difference a year can make. Even William Shakespeare talked about, a fool thinks himself to be wise, but a wise man knows himself to be a fool. And if you are feeling that way, if you feel like you're wise and you can do this, great. But a wise man knows himself to be a fool and to stay the course. And don't be afraid to give up the good to go for the great. That's a Rockefeller quote, and talked about don't be afraid to give up the good for going for the great. So those are just some inspirational messages that I wanted to share with you this morning. Like I said, my favorite was, amateurs sit and wait for the inspiration. The rest of us just get up and we go to work. So get up and go to work. Go to work on your dream. Go to work on your happiness. Go to work on not letting go of your desires and your dreams. And really just stay the course, because what a difference a year can make. And, the best part about the future, you guys, one of my favorite quotes from Abraham Lincoln is, the best part about our future is it comes one day at a time. So you have to ask yourself, are you making each day your masterpiece? And I hope that you are, and I'm going to try to do my best. So I'm going to head over or stick around on the Intuitive Prospector page. Turn on your notifications, because now I'm going to get ready for the Prospecting Q&A after show that starts right at 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11:30 a.m. 8:30 Pacific, 11:30 Eastern, and I'll have a direct conversation with all of you. So if you come back and you want a reading, you want a question, you want something answered, try to limit to 1 question per person. Please, no private messages. If I feel that there's a mediumship or somebody's coming through from the spirit world, you will have the opportunity to come on video with me, or give my business line a call where we can have a spiritual chat and connect to the loved ones that we're trying to connect to. Like I said, I never know what I'm going to get when I do this work. It is literally like Forrest Gump said, it's a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get, but I love doing that. And that was me moving past my perfectionist into my authentic self, because I always, as a Taurus, as a perfectionist, I had to have agendas, I had to add scripts, and when I moved into my spiritual path of the Intuitive Prospector, that all went away, because that's not my authentic self. So stay the course. What a difference a year can make. Just think of if you don't know about the Virginia basketball program, go check them out. They made history last year by being upset as number 1 seed. They made history by winning their first national championship a year later. So what a difference. What a difference of extreme lows to what a difference of extreme highs. But you have to stay the course in between, and you got to put in the work, you got to put in the discipline, you got to put in the dedication. So I just want to thank you for hanging out with me today. I hope that you have a great rest of your week till our next soul adventure together. Be kind, be caring, be compassionate, and I'll be back here in about 1 minute for the Prospecting Q&A after show. So get your questions ready. I'm sure you guys have some questions, and also make sure to get your top fan badge. I now have the page set up to where I can interact with my top fans and see my top commenters and people that are sharing out the page and just having a whole lot of fun. So have a great week, and until our next soul adventure together, dare to dream, dare to explore, Dare to live. Oh, we wanted the fun song. All right, guys, I'll be back here in about 1 minute for the Prospecting Q&A episode. Have a great week, everybody. Namaste.